Today, we're going to dig into a huge shift in how real estate works. Forget everything you thought you knew. We're talking about a move away from just gambling on the market to a much more deliberate strategy. This is the new playbook. You know the drill, right? For as long as any of us can remember, this was the whole game. You bought a place, you waited a bit, and you let the market make you money. Easy peasy, all about that appreciation. Well, according to some of the biggest names in finance, that whole dream, it's done. Over. The game has totally changed. So that brings us to the big, flashing question. If the old way to make a buck in real estate is busted, what's next? I mean, how do you even play in this brand new world? To really get this new strategy, we first have to wrap our heads around just how different the playing field is now. Seriously, we're in a completely new reality where that easy money from appreciation is just gone. Success now depends on something totally different. And listen, this isn't just some little market dip. Morgan Stanley calls it a profound structural realignment. Now that's some serious corporate speak for, hey, everything you thought you knew, yeah, throw it out the window. And this number right here, this is what changes the entire equation. 6.06%. That's the new average 30-year fixed mortgage rate. And that is high enough to make that old strategy of borrowing a ton of cheap money and just waiting, well, it just doesn't work anymore. Okay, let's just pause on this slide for a second, because this shows something that's, well, kind of wild. For decades, brand new homes always cost more. But look here at Q2 2025. For the first time, the median existing home was actually more expensive than a new one, by over 18 grand. That's not supposed to happen. It shows you just how upside down the market is right now. So what does this all boil down to? It's actually pretty simple. The game isn't about flipping for a quick profit anymore. Your total return, what you actually make, is now almost completely about the income, the cash flow, that property brings in every single month. So if cash flow is king, how in the world do you create it when the market is so shaky? Well, let's dive into an architect's answer to all this uncertainty. It's a model called the Certainty Engine. The big idea here is to build a little ecosystem that can take care of itself. So don't think of it as just a building. Think of it more like a financial habitat that's built to last. One where the property and the people in it can ride out whatever economic storm comes their way. The whole focus shifts from guessing to guaranteeing. And this slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? You've got two players in the game now. The speculator, who's still playing the old way, just crossing their fingers and hoping the market goes up. And then you have the steward, who's playing a totally new game, actively designing a system that doesn't need the market to go up. They're an architect of stability. So who's the brain behind this? A guy named Tran. And his background is really the key to the whole thing. He used to be a top engineer at Humana, where his job was to build systems that had 5 nines of reliability. That's 99.999% uptime. You know, systems that absolutely positively could not fail. And now, he's applying that exact same discipline to building communities. All right, so you've got this super rigorous engineering brain coming into real estate. How does that actually work in practice? Well, it's not just theory. It's about a fundamental shift where the people, your tenants, become your most important financial asset. It's about underwriting for people. But here's the puzzle, right? Across the country, rent growth is at a 15-year low. It's cooled way down. So in an environment like that, how on earth do you create that stable, predictable cash flow that this new world demands? And this case study is the perfect example. On one side, you have the old way, the institutional standard. Tons of debt, like 70 to 80% leverage, all trying to chase the highest possible market rent. Now compare that to this model. Zero leverage, it's owned free and clear. And the income, it's not based on wishful thinking, it's aligned with government-backed numbers called small area fair market rents. That gives you a solid, reliable floor for your income. It's just a much, much safer bet. So what's the secret sauce here? It's how all these different pieces lock together. First, you own the building outright, so there's no debt risk. Gone. It's right next to a big new grocery store, which anchors its value for the long term. The rent is stabilized with those government-backed rates, so your income is predictable. And get this, you create a steady stream of good tenants from local vocational schools. See? Every single piece is designed to remove risk from the equation. Okay, that's one building. It works. Awesome. But the real question is, how do you take this from one success story and turn it into a system that can work across an entire city? How do you scale it? Well, you know the two biggest headaches for any developer right now, right? Sky-high construction costs and a shortage of skilled labor. The solution here is pretty brilliant. You just sidestep those problems completely. By using factory-built modular units from Vietnam, your costs become predictable, and you're not fighting for workers in a crowded local market. But to scale, you can't just take money from anyone. You need the right kind of money. And this 50-week plan is basically the roadmap for how you get it. You move step by step, from setting up the legal structure to working with banks to bringing in foundations and even big local companies. It's a playbook for attracting capital that actually believes in the mission. Now, this is where it gets really clever. It's a strategy called capital stacking. Look at how the different types of money are layered on top of each other. You start with public funds, sometimes even a forgivable loan. That money takes the first hit if anything goes wrong. Because of that, a traditional bank can come in with the main loan feeling super safe. It's a fantastic way to structure the deal to make it almost risk-free for your biggest lenders. So we've talked about the numbers, the strategy, the funding, but what's the point of it all? Where does this all lead? What's the big picture? Well, it's about building something much, much bigger than just apartments. It's about creating a new kind of community. The whole thing builds toward this incredible idea, the Love Village. Imagine a single development that has everything we've been talking about: housing for seniors, childcare for young families, health services right there on site, and job training, all woven together. And that right there, that is the heart of it all. This isn't just about building units. It's about using a real estate model to tackle two of our society's biggest challenges at the exact same time: the loneliness that so many of our elders face, and the financial stress that so many working people are under. Which really just leaves us with one big, final question to think about. In this new economy, where the old rules are broken and steady income is the only thing that matters, maybe the most valuable thing you can build isn't a structure of wood and steel at all. Maybe the ultimate asset is the community you build inside it.